Imagine waking up one day and not remembering your own family's names, struggling to recall simple details, where you put your keys, what you ate for lunch, even conversations you had just hours ago. It's easy to think of memory loss as something that only happens in old age, but the truth is, Alzheimer's starts decades before the first symptoms appear. And one of the biggest hidden causes? The foods you eat every day. If you're in your 40s or 50s, now is the time to protect your brain. Scientists are finding that certain common foods, ones you might have in your kitchen right now, can trigger inflammation, insulin resistance, and even brain cell damage that increase your risk of Alzheimer's later in life. The good news? You can do something about it. Today, we're breaking down the worst foods for brain health and why they increase Alzheimer's risk, the best brain-protecting foods to eat instead, simple daily habits that keep your memory sharp as you age. Some of the foods on this list might surprise you because they're often marketed as healthy, but are doing serious harm to your brain. Let's get into it. Most people think Alzheimer's is just a part of getting older, something that happens randomly with no way to stop it. Others believe that if no one in their family had it, they're safe. But here's what most people don't know. Only about 1% of Alzheimer's cases are purely genetic. The other 99%? They're influenced by lifestyle choices, including the food you eat every day. That means what's on your plate today could shape your memory 20, 30, even 40 years from now. First, let's get into how the wrong foods damage your brain. You might not think much about what you eat beyond weight gain or energy levels, but food doesn't just affect your body, it directly impacts your brain. The human brain is about 60% fat, meaning it needs healthy fats and proper nutrients to function well. But when you feed it the wrong types of food, things start to go wrong. 1. Inflammation, the silent brain killer. Some foods cause long-term inflammation in the body. You might not feel it immediately, but over time, it slowly damages brain cells and makes it harder for them to communicate. Think of it like rust building up on metal. At first, it's barely noticeable, but over time, it eats away at the structure. That's what's happening inside your brain when you eat highly processed, unhealthy foods for years. Inflammation doesn't just kill brain cells, it also makes it harder for your brain to repair itself. That's why people who eat an inflammatory diet often experience brain fog, forgetfulness, and trouble focusing long before serious memory loss sets in. 2. Blood sugar spikes. Why Alzheimer's is called type 3 diabetes. Most people know that sugar is bad for weight gain, but few realize how much it damages the brain. Your brain runs on glucose, which is a type of sugar found in food. But when you constantly eat foods that cause big spikes in blood sugar, like sugary snacks, white bread, and soda, your body stops responding properly. Instead of efficiently using the sugar for energy, your brain starts struggling to process it. Scientists call this type 3 diabetes because it's the same issue people with diabetes face, but it happens inside the brain. This can lead to brain fatigue, slower thinking, and eventually memory decline. 3. Plaque buildup. How some foods speed up Alzheimer's. There's another problem with poor diet. It accelerates the buildup of harmful proteins in the brain. These proteins, called plaques, act like roadblocks, disrupting brain signals and eventually killing brain cells. Certain foods, especially those high in unhealthy fats and preservatives, fuel this process, making it happen years or even decades sooner than it should. Ever walked into a room and completely forgotten why you were there? Or struggled to remember a word that was just on the tip of your tongue? These small lapses may seem normal, but they could be early signs that your brain isn't getting the support it needs. The truth is, memory decline doesn't happen overnight. It starts small, often in your 40s or 50s, with little things like forgetting names, misplacing items, or having trouble focusing. But over time, if left unchecked, it can turn into something much worse. The foods you eat every day could be speeding up this process without you even realizing it. But here's the good news. You have the power to change this. Just as the wrong foods can damage your brain, the right foods can protect it. Before we get into the best foods for memory, let's go over the worst foods that are putting your brain at risk, some of which might be in your kitchen right now. The worst foods for brain health. Are you eating these? You already know that fast food and sugary snacks aren't great for your health. But what if some of the foods you thought were harmless or even healthy were actually hurting your brain? Many of these foods are so common that you probably have them in your kitchen right now. But eating them regularly can fuel inflammation, disrupt brain function, and speed up memory loss. Here are the biggest culprits. 1. Processed sugar and refined carbs, the brain fog trigger. Ever felt exhausted, unfocused, or forgetful after a meal? That's because high sugar and refined carbs spike your blood sugar, then cause it to crash, leaving your brain struggling for fuel. The worst offenders: white bread, pastries, and sugary cereals, soda, fruit juices with added sugar and flavored yogurts, candy, cakes, and store-bought baked goods. These foods don't just make you feel sluggish in the moment, they also contribute to long-term brain damage. Studies show that people who consume high amounts of sugar and refined carbs have a higher risk of memory loss, brain shrinkage, and difficulty processing information. This happens because excess sugar in the bloodstream causes inflammation and insulin resistance in the brain, which makes it harder for brain cells to communicate. Think of it like this: your brain is like an engine, and glucose, sugar, is its fuel. But when you overload it with too much low-quality fuel, it starts to break down, leading to issues like brain fog, difficulty focusing, and eventually, a higher risk of Alzheimer's. What to do instead? Swap white bread for whole grain or sprouted bread. Choose plain Greek yogurt instead of sugary flavored yogurts. And when you want something sweet, reach for fresh fruit instead of processed snacks. 2. Fried foods and processed oils, the silent brain destroyers. Crispy fried chicken, French fries, potato chips. These foods taste good, but they're one of the worst things you can put in your body, especially for your brain. Why? Because fried foods and heavily processed vegetable oils trigger massive inflammation in the brain. They contain something called trans fats, which are known to increase the risk of memory decline and cognitive diseases like Alzheimer's. The worst part? These unhealthy fats don't just damage your brain over time, they also interfere with your mood, focus, and energy levels right now. The worst offenders: fast food, fried chicken, fries, onion rings, potato chips, and packaged snacks, margarine and vegetable oils like canola, soybean, and corn oil. What to do instead? Instead of frying food in unhealthy oils, use olive oil or avocado oil for cooking, snack on nuts, seeds, or homemade air-popped popcorn instead of processed chips. 3. Artificial sweeteners, the fake sugar that confuses your brain. Many people switch to diet sodas or sugar-free products thinking they're making a healthy choice. But artificial sweeteners like aspartame and sucralose can actually harm brain function and memory. Research suggests that regular consumption of artificial sweeteners is linked to cognitive decline because they disrupt how the brain processes real sugar. They also kill off healthy gut bacteria, which plays a major role in brain health. The worst offenders: diet sodas and sugar-free energy drinks, sugar-free gum and candy, low-calorie or zero-sugar processed foods. What to do instead? If you need something sweet, stick to natural options like honey, stevia, or monk fruit sweetener in small amounts. And when it comes to drinks, plain water, herbal teas, or unsweetened coffee are the best choices for your brain. 4. Processed meats, a hidden brain aging factor. You may love bacon, hot dogs, or deli meats, but these highly processed meats contain preservatives called nitrites, which have been linked to increased brain inflammation and a higher risk of dementia. Regularly eating processed meats can cause oxidative stress in the brain, which damages brain cells over time. This can lead to issues like memory lapses, difficulty focusing, and brain fog, even before full-blown cognitive decline sets in. The worst offenders: bacon and sausage, hot dogs and processed deli meats, packaged frozen meals with processed meats. What to do instead? Choose fresh, unprocessed meats like chicken, turkey, or grass-fed beef instead of processed versions. If you eat deli meats, Look for nitrate-free options with minimal ingredients. 5. Alcohol, the brain's worst enemy when consumed in excess. A glass of wine here and there isn't a problem, but excessive alcohol consumption is one of the fastest ways to damage brain cells. Too much alcohol shrinks the brain over time and disrupts neurotransmitters, the chemicals responsible for memory, mood, and decision-making. Heavy drinking is directly linked to early cognitive decline and a much higher risk of Alzheimer's. Even moderate drinking, when done regularly, can weaken the brain's ability to repair itself. What to do instead? If you drink, keep it to a moderate amount. 1 drink per day for women, 2 for men. On most days, choose healthier beverages like green tea, herbal teas, or infused water instead. Are these foods in your kitchen right now? Most people don't think twice about eating these foods because they're everywhere. But if you're in your 40s or 50s, now is the time to make changes, before memory loss starts. The good news? Just as these foods harm the brain, others can protect it. In the next section, we'll go over the best brain-boosting foods that help prevent memory loss and support cognitive function for years to come. You already know that eating fresh, whole foods is good for your health, but when it comes to protecting your brain from memory loss, certain foods act like natural medicine. These aren't just healthy foods, they're brain-repairing, memory-boosting, Alzheimer's-fighting superfoods that can actually reverse some of the damage caused by bad diet choices in the past. And here's the best part. You don't need expensive supplements or exotic ingredients. Many of these foods are probably already in your kitchen. You just need to eat them more often. Let's get into it. 1. Extra virgin olive oil, the memory-preserving fat. Most people think of olive oil as just another cooking ingredient, but in countries like Greece, Italy, and Spain, where Alzheimer's rates are significantly lower than in the US, olive oil is a staple. What makes it so powerful? Olive oil is packed with polyphenols, which help clear out harmful plaques that clog the brain and lead to Alzheimer's. It also reduces inflammation, protecting your brain from damage over time. But here's the mistake people make. Not all olive oils are the same. Many brands on grocery store shelves are heavily processed, mixed with cheaper oils, and stripped of their brain-boosting benefits. What to do instead? Look for cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. This type contains the highest amount of polyphenols. Avoid light or pure olive oil. These are processed and lack the full health benefits. Use it raw whenever possible. Drizzle it over salads, vegetables, or mix it into dressings instead of using it for high-heat frying. A 2015 study found that people who followed a Mediterranean diet rich in olive oil had a 40% lower risk of cognitive decline. 2. Blueberries, nature's brain detox. Blueberries aren't just a tasty snack, they're one of the most powerful brain-protecting foods on the planet. They contain anthocyanins, compounds that help clear out toxins from the brain, reduce inflammation, and improve communication between brain cells. But here's what most people don't realize. Memory decline starts long before symptoms appear. Brain imaging studies show that people in their 40s and 50s can already have early signs of Alzheimer's, even if they feel fine. Eating blueberries regularly can delay brain aging by up to 2.5 years. Common mistake: people buy blueberry-flavored snacks, like muffins, yogurt, or cereal, thinking they're getting the benefits. But most of these products contain no real blueberries at all. What to do instead? Add fresh or frozen blueberries to oatmeal, yogurt, or smoothies. Eat a handful as a snack instead of reaching for processed sweets. If fresh blueberries are too expensive or out of season, frozen ones have the same benefits and last longer. 3. Turmeric, the spice that helps your brain stay sharp. Turmeric has been used in traditional Indian medicine for centuries, and modern science is now proving why. It contains curcumin, a compound that reduces brain inflammation and even helps grow new brain cells. In India, where turmeric is widely consumed, Alzheimer's rates are among the lowest in the world. This isn't a coincidence. Curcumin actively helps prevent the buildup of amyloid plaques that cause memory decline. The mistake most people make: eating turmeric without black pepper. Curcumin is difficult for the body to absorb on its own, but black pepper increases its absorption by 2,000%. What to do instead? Add a teaspoon of turmeric to soups, stews, or scrambled eggs. Mix it with warm milk and honey for a brain-boosting drink. Always pair it with a pinch of black pepper to maximize the benefits. 4. Dark chocolate, the surprisingly good-for-you brain booster. Yes, chocolate can actually protect your brain, but only if you eat the right kind. Dark chocolate, at least 70% cacao or higher, contains flavonoids, caffeine, and antioxidants that improve blood flow to the brain, enhance focus, and reduce memory loss over time. But here's the problem. Most commercial chocolate is loaded with sugar and artificial ingredients, which cancel out the benefits. What to do instead? Choose dark chocolate with minimal added sugar, 70% cacao or more. Eat a small square daily. Too much can still spike blood sugar. Add unsweetened cacao powder to smoothies or oatmeal for brain benefits without the sugar. A study in 2018 found that people who ate dark chocolate regularly had improved cognitive function and lower stress levels. 5. Fatty fish, the brain's favorite protein. Your brain is 60% fat, and it needs healthy fats to function properly. Fatty fish like salmon, sardines, and mackerel are loaded with omega-3 fatty acids, which help build and repair brain cells. Studies show that people who eat fish at least once a week have larger brain volumes and a lower risk of Alzheimer's. But here's a mistake many people make: eating fried fish instead of baked or grilled fish. Deep frying destroys the omega-3s, turning a brain-boosting food into a brain-damaging one. What to do instead? Grill or bake salmon instead of frying it. Add canned sardines to salads for a budget-friendly brain boost. If you don't eat fish, flax seeds, walnuts, and chia seeds are great plant-based sources of omega-3s. 6. Walnuts, the brain-shaped superfood. Ever noticed how walnuts look like tiny brains? That's not just a coincidence. They're one of the best nuts for brain health. Walnuts are rich in antioxidants and omega-3s, which reduce inflammation and protect brain cells from aging. In fact, studies show that eating just a handful of walnuts daily can improve memory, focus, and mental clarity. What to do instead? Add a handful to oatmeal or yogurt. Eat them as a snack instead of processed chips or crackers. Blend them into homemade pesto or salad dressings. If you've made it this far, you might be wondering, is it too late to protect my brain? Have I already done too much damage? The answer is no. The brain is incredibly resilient, and research shows that it's never too late to start making changes that improve memory, focus, and long-term cognitive health. The foods we talked about today aren't magic cures, but they are scientifically backed ways to support brain function and reduce risk factors for memory decline. Just like a poor diet can contribute to brain aging, the right foods can fuel your brain, repair damage, and even help sharpen your thinking. But let's be clear, Alzheimer's and dementia are complex diseases with many causes, including genetics, lifestyle, and environmental factors. No single food or diet guarantees prevention. However, by making smarter choices today, you can greatly improve your brain's ability to stay sharp and strong as you age. And it's not just about food. Your daily habits, how you move, sleep, and challenge your brain, play just as big of a role in cognitive health as what you eat. So, what's next? Train your brain to stay sharp. If you want to do more than just eat right, check out our video on daily habits that can protect your memory and keep your brain sharp for years to come. And if you found this helpful, hit the like button. It lets us know to make more videos like this. Subscribe so you don't miss more brain health tips, and share this video with anyone who wants to keep their memory strong for life. Stay healthy, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.